Welcome to the Robin's Nest, coming to you straight out of Alabama, where it is really, really cold. Went from 80 degrees yesterday to being whatever it is today. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's cold. I hate it. It sucks. It'd be nice if we got a transition period, but we don't. So, anyways, a lot of news items to get into, so let's do it. So it's official. Liam Lawson will be Max Verstappen's teammate starting next year. I don't know if it was a multi-year deal or if it was just a one-year deal. What the case is, but it doesn't really matter because Sergio Perez was signed to a 2-year deal. He did 1 year and now he's gone. So it doesn't really matter. I just find it interesting. Like I said yesterday, Liam hasn't even run a full season in Formula One. And now he's getting a shot with the top Red Bull team. I don't understand the logic. I guess it's sink or swim, but the fact that you've got Yuki on payroll and he's been with Red Bull forever, and no matter what, he won't get a shot with the Red Bull team. It's just idiotic, man. Idiotic. Because I would kill to see a Japanese driver. Not literally kill, but I would love to see a Japanese driver have a shot to run up front in Formula One on a consistent basis. And I think Yuki has the ability to do so, more so than Kobayashi or Sato. I think Yuki's the real deal. But the rumors are that Aston Martin and Hyundai, they're not Honda, are going to join up. I think next year, not this coming up year, but the year after. And Yuki's probably going to go over there, so which would make sense. Japanese driver, Japanese engine supplier, so that would make sense. If I were him, I would not stick around after this year. Because Red Bull has made it obvious how they feel about Yuki. And, how many times can you get slapped in the face before you just walk away? But we'll see what happens. Valtteri Bottas is back to being a reserve driver for Mercedes, which is cool because I feel like Valtteri got a raw deal with Mercedes. I think he did the best that he could given the circumstances. He won races. It's not like he was a moving chicane or he was just putting around. He was solid. Put in a solid performance. I don't know what more you can want from somebody. And he actively helped Mercedes win the Constructors' Championship several times. So for them to just kind of kick him to the curb like they did, I didn't agree with that. That didn't sit right with me. Not that I'm like some massive Valtteri fan. It's just, I don't like seeing people get unjustly screwed. And I feel like he did. So for them to welcome him back into the fray, in case something happens to George or the new kid that's coming to take Lewis's place, pretty cool. Pretty cool of old Toto to do that. So shifting gears to NASCAR. Not massive news, but Garrett Smithley will be back next year full time with Bobby Daughter's team, SS Greenlight. Which, they're destined to run probably mid-pack. It's not a heavily, there's not a whole bunch of funding there. They kind of piecemeal everything together. It's not like a junior motorsports. Granted, they won with Cole Custer at California or Michigan. But I'm fairly certain that car Cole won with was a Stewart-Haas car. Who it was prepared by, I'm not sure, but I'm almost certain that was a Stewart-Haas car. Same deal with Almirola at Sonoma, I think in 23, where he won for technically Ryan Sieg, but it was essentially a Stewart-Haas team. similar deal. So don't expect a whole lot out of Garrett. We'll see what happens. What I am excited about, though, is Parker Retzlaff. He announced that he was going to leave Jordan Anderson's team, but he finally announced where he's going, which is Alpha Prime, Tommy Joe Martin's team. And that I'm optimistic about, because much like what I said about Parker Kligerman before in one of my other videos, Parker Retzlaff is a great driver. I mean, he has the ability to run up front if he had the equipment to run up front, I feel like. Now, when he was running for Ryan Sieg, he was running part-time. They ran him at Richmond, and he should have finished top 5 in that race. I mean, he's got it. He's got the ability to be a superstar. Just needs a shot, And I know he ran top 10 at, I think it was Daytona, where he pushed Harrison Burton to a win in the Cup Series. Kind of hard to make a judgment on that, with Talladega and Daytona. I think that particular race, half the field was sitting in the garage wrecked. So it's hard to make a judgment on that, just because there's so many different off-the-wall variables that go into plate racing. But and he had some good runs with Jordan. I know Martinsville, he won the pole, and he should have ran up front the whole race. We got run over by someone driving with their head up their butt, but I just said butt twice. Anyway, I'm optimistic. And Tommy's team, they've never really ran all that great, but their cars look fantastic. It's like a classic definition of a team that runs in the back, but their cars look better than virtually any other car out on the racetrack. If we're going to run in the back, we got to do something to make the cars look great. Kind of like that sort of deal. I don't know if that's actually the mindset, but kind of what I gather from it. So anyways, I hope they do well. We'll see what happens. Got my fingers crossed on that one, though, because I would love to see both the team and Parker run up front. Parker Retzlaff. So, I want to talk about this, though. Dirtfish posted an article asking if WRC is moving in the right direction. Okay? And you can just answer that straight out with a big flat no. Big fat no. There's, in the top flight, WRC1, there's 3 manufacturers. Okay? Ford, Hyundai, Toyota. Ford, they only run 2 full-time cars. They'll run a third one every once in a while. Okay, and InSport, which is the Ford team, they don't have a ton of factory support from Ford. Whereas Hyundai and Toyota, they do. And they'll run 4 cars throughout the season. You go back to the 2000s, and there were several different manufacturers running in the top flight. Citroen, Skoda, several different ones. Way more than 3. And it's tapered off over the past few years, with VW had the Dieselgate situation, and they backed out. And then finally Citroen pulled out, and you're down to 3. But there's a problem, too, when you have 3 in the top flight, and you go straight down to WRC2, and you have significantly more manufacturer participation. Why is that? Well, it's because of the cost, obviously. They brought in hybrid units, I think last year. Significantly raised the price of running the cars, research and development, and then you have the practical application of putting the hybrid unit on the car and running it, which boosts horsepower at certain points throughout different stages. But and the whole push to go green and everything like that, you can go green, just use greener fuel. That does exist. Doing stuff like that with hybrids is just going to make the cost of something that's already expensive go up. The the specs for the WRC1 car are ridiculous. You know, my personal opinion, I would take WRC1, WRC2. I would even out the rules, bring the horsepower down in WRC1, bring it up a little bit in WRC2. All the other different things with aero and all that other kind of stuff, kind of smooth that out to where WRC2 cars can compete with WRC1. Of course, at that point, you could just do away with WRC2 and it'll just be WRC, like it used to be. Yeah. But I just don't. They were kicking that around earlier in the year. That's what they were thinking about doing. Yeah, everyone got mad because it all comes down to money. You know, that's not what they said the problem was, but that's what the problem is. And at the end of the day, it's still racing, so they're still competing with each other. But I don't know. It'd be nice to see Skoda competing in top flight again, but they're never going to do it with the cost being what it is. Same thing with Citroen. I'd like to see V-Dub come back, but I don't know that that'll ever happen. It'd be interesting. They got to do something, though. I mean, because Hyundai's talking about leaving. That's a rumor. It's in the rumor mill. If Hyundai leaves, you've got two manufacturers left. Toyota and Ford. And Toyota's not going to stick around if they're just competing against Ford. And Ford's not even a full factory team. So, and then you're going to be left with what? You're going to have to go ahead and turn WRC2 into WRC1 anyway. So why not go ahead and make that happen? I don't know. Makes no sense. Some sad news. Fred Lorenzen passed away yesterday. For those who don't know, he's a Hall of Famer in NASCAR. Used to race back in the day. Used to drive for Holman Moody. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say that, but Holman Moody in the white 28 Ford Galaxy. An absolute tank. Car was massive. My dad had a Ford Galaxy for a couple of years when I was a teenager, so I can attest to the fact of, and it was the same year range as what they were racing in NASCAR at the time. They're massive. Absolutely massive. My grandmother was a huge fan of Fred's when I was growing up, so I heard about him all the time. And he seemed like a pretty cool dude. And he was lights out fast on the racetrack back in the day. You know, it's sad, but he was 89, and from what I read, he had dementia, and I think that those complications from dementia is the reason why he passed away. You know, it's sad to a point, but it's also, you know, you hate to hear of anybody living with something like that that's irreversible. Quality of life is just not good, you know. So you hate to see that. So, you know, he's in a better place now, and no more pain, no more confusion, none of that stuff. So, but another legend gone. You know, we've been losing a lot of them here over the past couple of years. You know, just lost Bobby Allison a couple weeks ago. It's a shame. Someone commented on one of my posts earlier and said, you know, time is something to the effect of time is a cruel mistress, something like that. And it's true. It keeps going. It doesn't stop for anybody. I'm 35 now, and when I started driving when I was 16, it was 2005. Man, it all seems like a blur, you know. Like I went to sleep one day and I woke up and it was I'm 35. You know, obviously it's not a blur. It just kind of feels that way when you reflect on it. But you know, we're gonna keep losing more and more of these guys as time rolls on, unfortunately. But such is life. But anyways, if you found this interesting, you like listening to me ramble about motorsports, like, subscribe, leave a comment, share, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our other stuff. I'm going to get back into the swing of doing our compilation videos, so just bear with me on that. I know it's been quite a few days, but we're gonna get to it. So if you're interested in t-shirts, hats, die-cast cars, anything like that, auto parts, check out our online stores, Macari and eBay. I'll put the link in the description, or the links in the description, so check that out. Until next time, that's going to do it. I really appreciate you guys watching again. It means a lot to me. So, yeah, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully you guys still find it enjoyable. So, I appreciate it. And like I said, until next time, that'll do it. Peace.
És 100 fölfele. 100 fölfele, jobb 2 tempó, 20-ra bal 2 tempó, 25-ra bal 2 tempó, 25-re bal 2 szűk, bal 2 szűk, és bal 2, majd 50-re jobb 2, itt a bal 2, és 50-re jobb 2, majd szűk 50-re jobb 3 az aszfaltra, szűk 50-re jobb 3 az aszfaltra.